Wake up everybody, let's elevate your mind. Live your life without limits, no more wasting time. Don't forget to stay focused while continuing to stay on the grind. Keep your vision real tight, then your future be bright until the finish line.
Good morning, Living Your Life Without Limits family. Thank you once again for joining me for this week's episode. I am so excited to have this young entrepreneur, outstanding young man. He is 13 years old and already a game changer, on his way to being a multi-millionaire before he reaches 15 probably. And that is none other than Mr. Christon, the Truth Jones. And I want to say he is the truth. A little bit about his background. At the age of 18, young Mr. Truth faced off his own bullies and penned his first book, Win Within, to help other kids, and made $5,000 in 90 days by penning his book Door to Door. And today, he is going to talk to us. We are living in these trying times with finances as we're struggling during this home epidemic that we're all on lockdown, how to earn money in day trading. He is a professional certified day trader, and I welcome none other than the truth, Mr. Christon Jones. Thank you so much for joining me again here today at Living Your Life Without Limits. I want everyone to know that I am proud of this young Black man who is doing his thing. He is up and coming, and we want to be attentive, not just because he is an expert, but he has given us wisdom and dropping financial knowledge to us that can help us. And that's what Living Your Life Without Limits is about. And I want each and every one of you to subscribe. Click the subscribe button and pay close attention as I give the floor to him. Again, thank you, the truth.
No problem.
Tell me how at this age, 8 years old, you got this bug and knew what you wanted to do.
So as far as even just getting the entrepreneur bug in general, it really just came to me after I wrote my first book, The Win Within. And actually the reason I even wrote that book was because I was getting bullied on the football field by my teammates. So I decided I was in second grade at the time, and I had some free time on my hands at school. So I decided to just basically journal and just write down everything I was going through at the time while I was at school. So when I got home, I had told my mom I had wrote a book. She asked me if I wanted to get it published. Now, at the time, at 8 years old, I had no idea what that meant. But I said yes anyway, because I thought I could make some money. So we went through the whole publishing process. That took about 3 to 4 months. Then we finally had the finished project. And then my mom told me we had to go sell the book. I didn't want to do that. I thought somehow I would just make the book and I would just get some money. I didn't want to go do that, but she had me do it anyway. So actually my first time selling the book was at my local barbershop. And I remember when we pulled up to the barbershop, I got out the car and I thought my mom was just going to hand me some money when I opened up her door. Instead, she handed me a box of my books and told me to go sell them. So basically, she tricked me. So she told me to go in there and don't come out, even if your haircut's done or whatever, and don't come out until you sold those books. So I knew I had to listen to her. So I took the box of books and I walked in there and I sat down. So when I first got into the barbershop, I was kind of glad because it was a little crowded. So this gave me some time to think about how in the world am I supposed to do this? So I sit down in my chair and I'm just thinking, no, that won't work. No, that won't work. I don't know. I'm thinking of all the things I can do in order to sell these books to these people I don't know. And then before I know it, it's my turn to get my hair cut. So I leave the box of books there. I go sit in the chair. I'm all sweaty. I'm all nervous, probably shaking a little bit. And the barbers probably think I'm crazy. But So I sit in the chair, he begins cutting my hair, and I'm still trying to think on how in the world I'm supposed to sell these books. Then he finishes up my haircut, and I realize even after all this thinking, I still don't know what to do. So I decide I can't go outside or she's going to get me. So I have to just sell these books. Mm-hmm. So I finally built up the courage, and I got out the chair slowly, tried to take my time as long as possible so I don't have to do this because it was uncomfortable. So I got out of the chair. I took a big gulp. I walked to my books. I grabbed one. I walked back to the barber. And I said, "Hi, my name is Christian, the true, what's my name? Jones. Do you want to buy a book?" He looked at me crazy, but he said yes. And after he said yes, it just took away all the fear and nervousness I had about selling my product to other people. And of course, he gave me some money. So that's how I kind of just started the whole entrepreneurial bug. And I just like the feeling of, well, people basically just paying me to give them my book. So they learn more about me. And like I said, I made some money. So that's my whole story as far as how I caught the entrepreneurial bug. And it actually grows from there because after, like you said, we sold the book. We sold 500 copies and we made over $5,000 in less than 90 days.
Wow.
While we were still marketing the book, and the way we did that, it was actually since I still play football. Well, I still do now. But I was playing football, so we would go to tournaments, games. And after I was done playing, we brought the books with us, so we just sell person to person. And
excellent. I mean, it shows you how when you have confidence, and confidence came after you sold that first book and you got that yes and got that money, right? That's excellent. So talk to us about day trading. Now, many people, especially minorities, and I know you probably can attest to this, don't really get into the stock market that much. One, most people lack knowledge of what it is. Mm-hmm. And when you don't know, you tend to not do it, or you don't understand the process. So for educating the audience, whether young or old or young at heart, what exactly is day trading and what is the benefits of day trading?
All right, so this is what day trading is. Day trading is what basically allows you to make money when the stock market goes up or down. And you trade, obviously, throughout the day and every day. And when you're trading, use these two things called options. Now, there's two different types of options. There's a call and then there's a put. A call allows you to make money when the stock market goes up. A put allows you to make money when the stock market goes down. I would say the whole benefit of day trading, no matter what direction the stock market goes, you're making money. It goes up, the company has good news, it goes up, it's going up, I'm making money. It has maybe some bad news, or a whole bunch of jobs got laid off for whatever reason, or maybe even the company went bankrupt and it starts going down, the stock price just drops, I'm making money. So it doesn't matter what direction the stock market goes in, you can continuously make money. It's just about really just paying attention, doing your research, and following truth. That's obviously based off my nickname. Yeah. And it goes like this. T, tap 20 companies that you like and that you already buy from. So even just like the companies that are in your house, like even right now I'm on an Apple computer. Apple is a publicly traded corporation, meaning it's on the stock market. Or even Colgate, you might use that as your toothpaste. Let's see if it's on the stock market. If we can invest in Colgate, basically get our money back. So there's probably hundreds of companies just, I guess you could say, laying around your house that you can see if they're publicly traded and see how you can make money off of them. So first, there's T, tap 20 companies that you like and that you already buy from. Then R, research those companies thoroughly. What I mean by research, we do show you a way and have a system, which we do have our clients go through as far as the great way, or one of our, I would say the best way to research a company. But I mean, overall, just looking at things like the news, and that it's not even just nationwide news, it's global news, because other things that be going on in other companies can affect the stock market and have affected the stock market. Mm-hmm. So it's just really about doing your research. Like I said, looking at the news. One of the great sites I like to use just for looking up stocks and stock information is Yahoo Finance. It's about really just doing your research on those companies and what we call your circle of 20, which you would have chose in T. Now you have U, understand the historical data behind those companies. Because just like people, companies have patterns. So you want to, this goes also back to research. When you're doing your research, you want to look at the company's historical data and its price points and how it's been doing over the past 5 years, 1 year, and however long. So therefore you can start seeing the patterns in the company. When this happens, it does this. When this happens, it does that. So therefore, of course, you can use it to your benefit. Then you have T, trade after closing. Now, this is what I mean by trade after closing. Sometimes when you're day trading, you do have to give yourself some time to think about a trade before you do it and just go back over your steps before you place the trade the next day. And just give yourself some time to think about it, especially if you're, I want to say risking, but investing a lot of money into that trade. And then you have H, have an enter and exit strategy. What I mean by this is, let's say I want to get in Microsoft and I would get it, let's say its stock price is at $80. As soon as it hits $81, I'm going to get in and I want to make $100. So therefore it's going up, and I did a call. So it's going up, boom, my $100 mark hit in my portfolio. So I get out. So that's what I mean by having enter and exit strategy. And the reason we do that is because in the market, you cannot be emotional. You can't have these two emotions specifically. Number one is fear. And what I mean by fear is, I know because you're not going to win every trade. So I know what I mean by fear is basically you might create a losing streak because you did the second emotion, which I'll talk about after, but basically create a losing streak and you start becoming fearful of the markets and you're really just making desperate trades for no reason without doing your research. And then I would say that was one of the biggest things when you're trading that you cannot do. And then there's also the second emotion, which is, at least in my case, was arrogance and cockiness. And that's actually after having a huge string of wins where you're making a whole bunch of money, you're on top of the world, nobody can stop you. And then you stop doing your research, you stop doing all the steps and rules that you put in place for yourself and basically become arrogant, big-headed, and cocky and no longer take the steps needed that got you there in the first place. And then that's when you
said that because that can apply in every field.
Yes.
Not just in day trading, because you can get to a point where you feel you got it all or you know it all and you stop doing the things that got you there, is what you were saying, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Interesting. Very interesting you brought that out. So for a lot of people, this is very good knowledge you've given us, but we know many people don't do the research. So what do you do and how much to invest? Because another aspect that many people think you have to have a lot of money to invest. So talk to us about the fundamentals of investing. You now told us what the truth means and what we need to apply. So say, I'm gonna be devil advocate a little bit because I know a lot of people shy away from it, and I want what you're telling us in this time of pandemic where so much is lost. People have lost jobs. People are, possibly losing their homes, don't know if they're going to get back to work, and they may have a little bit of money. And how can I make money in this time? So if day trading is an opportunity, how much do I need?
So when you're day trading, you can or just really investing in general in the stock market, you can pretty much start off with however much you're comfortable with. Like I've had clients that started investing with only $10.
Really?
Yes. And he tripled his money in less than a week.
Really? $10?
Yeah. You can really just start with whatever you're comfortable with. And it's just about, you don't have to start off with a lot of money. It's just about gradually building up your account. You can even just making $50 a day. That's $250 a week multiplied by 4. That's $1,000 a month extra. Mm-hmm. So it's really just about gradually building your account that allows you to make those bigger trades that can get you more money more frequently. And it's just really about, like I said, building your account, because the thing is, in day trading and investing, you always get your, well, not always, but when you win, you get your return on investment back. So let's say I invested $100 into Microsoft. I get a $50 gain. So therefore I have $150 when I get out of that trade. So that's how you gradually build up your account to the point where you can make, I guess you could say, bigger trades will allow you to make more money, or basically just buy larger amounts of shares, or what we call contracts, which you use in order to buy options that allow you, like I said, to make more money.
So a lot of times when you hear a lot of the analysts on TV, they'll tell you, stay in it for the long haul. Don't get out right away because you're losing money. You know, you got to be in it for the long haul. You got to be either bullish or bear. You hear bulls and bears a lot with a lot of different things. What are your thoughts on how long? I know it's individual and it depends on the actual stock and the knowledge, and as you talk about the historical data, but what's on average should a person retain, just if everything being equal and going well?
I would say, as far as using the long term, well, I can't give any financial advice because
of course, yeah.
But I would say, as far as the long term, you can do long term if it really makes sense for that, like you said, a specific company. Mm-hmm. And that's when you go back to the truth and you do your or historical data behind that company, and you can mm-hmm. see, well, what's happened in these past situations, because history repeats itself as well. Mm-hmm. Therefore, you can see what you need to do that way. And mm-hmm. also with day trading, this also go back to that. You don't also, there's another type of trading. It's called swing trading. Mm. Now, with day trading and with options, they have expiration dates. Unlike stocks, they have expiration dates. So basically like food. And with swing trading, because you choose your expiration date, you can put your expiration date for a longer amount of time. So therefore, it gives you some more time to make your money. And you don't have to watch it. And that basically becomes passive income at that point. So that's when you would use basically long-term investing. Even if you are down, it gives you more time to basically just let the stock correct itself. But of course, you have to do your research on that stock.
Okay, very good. Thank you so much for that. So as a young entrepreneur, what are some of the challenges that you faced, climbing up this ladder of success? You've been an international author and, have been highly sought after. What are some of the challenges, and how do you encourage people that maybe are going after their dreams or goals, young or middle age, or just looking for a change? Well, what are some of the challenges that you may have faced going into business here that you can encourage our viewers?
I would say the biggest challenge that I faced was ageism, because I am so young and I am investing in the stock market. I know a lot of people are like, he shouldn't be doing this. This is illegal. Whoever said I was pressing the buttons. And it's not about why I'm doing it. It's about how I am doing it. That's the question you should be asking. Mm-hmm. Because there's always ways you can make money. It's just about figuring out those quote unquote loopholes in order to do that. Like I said, who said I'm pressing the buttons on actually doing it?
Right.
What I do is I tell my mom, I do my research and I tell my mom what I want her to do for me in the account. So it's really just about figuring out how I'm able to do it, not why I'm able to do it.
So you got a lot of challenges because of your age.
Yes.
Challenges with that. Mm-hmm. Yes. I can understand that. So you've heard of what are the warning signs that, again, for a person that wants to go to, such as yourself or anyone else, to say, hey, I want to put my money here and reach out to someone to help them. But you hear about the stories that have been out there, like the Madoffs and the different ones. Even the elite people have been taken advantage of, in investments where people are very, very nice with the tongue, you know what I mean? But it's a lying tongue, you know what I mean? But they just, captivate people, very charismatic. And like I said, some of the the elite and wealthy have also been taken advantage of. So what are some of the signs for us to look for? So now you've given us some education on how we need to move and do these things, but say we want to dip into doing day trading or some form of investment in stock. What are some of the key signs we should be watching out for?
I would say if you're interested in learning how to day trade, how to swing trade, just get in the stock market and financial world overall, I would say the biggest thing is to first, of course, follow truth, but also make sure you're able to control your emotions. And like I said earlier, your emotions will get you killed in the markets. So I would say be able to control your emotions, have self-discipline. And I will also say really just, I know a lot of people, especially like to get, let's say, a broker, fiduciary. But at the end of the day, those people just have basically their company's name tag on their shirts. And that doesn't necessarily mean they're experts at this situation, or not the situation, but at the field. It just means they know enough knowledge to help out most people that don't know anything about it. So I would say the biggest thing is learning the information for yourself and being able to pass down that information so you don't get taken advantage of, like the Bernie Madoffs of the world. And that allows you to teach the skills to other people in your family, and that's how you create financial freedom and generational wealth. So it's about learning the skills you need, be able to control your emotions, and self-discipline. I would say those are the biggest things you need to master if you want to be able to successfully day trade and invest in the stock market.
Excellent, thank you. Because knowledge is power. And anything that we want to go into, and whether it's in finance or any field or acquisition of anything, we certainly should do our research and make sure we're comfortable and weigh the pros and cons. But I also like how you say you have to take some risk.
Definitely.
You have to still take some risk because, no risk, no gain, right? So we still have to have some level of comfort in taking a level of risk. And I recognize that risk is in conservative to aggressive to in between, especially when it comes to investment. Is that not clear?
I would say it is, like, even with the options, that is considered more risky. But of course, like just with anything, if you know what you're doing and you trust yourself, of course, you still got to take those risks and be willing to lose money. But of course, you can still mitigate your loss, or basically cut your losses before they hit drop or rock bottom, I guess you could say. And there are different strategies that you can use. And you don't even have to day trade. There are different strategies you can use in order to invest in the stock market. And like you said, you do have to take risks just like with anything. And there's also, like I said, different ways you can make money in the stock market. And those different ways are this. There are, number one, of course, just basic investing. So stocks, buy, wholesale. Then you have dividends. Now, not all companies pay. Dividends are little checks that you get for being a shareholder and investor in a company. Now, not all companies pay dividends. However, a high majority of them do. And they'll be like maybe 75 cents, 50 cents. That's per share you own in the company. So there's also dividends. Of course, if you own a high enough amount of shares, that can be vacation money or whatever you want to do with it. Then you also have what's called cover calls. Now, cover calls are considered more conservative than options that are almost guaranteed money every, I would say, week or month, because they vary company to company. If you want to learn more about that, you can, do research on it and understand what I mean by that. But cover calls are a very conservative way and actually very consistent way you can make money in the stock market as well. There's also, of course, just options with day trading, and then also swing trading. So there's different strategies that you can use. You don't have to necessarily just do day trading or just do investing. You can use all of these different strategies and really just create either passive income, make it your main source of income. It really just depends on what you want to do, but you have to be willing to take the risk in order to do that, in order to go pay for the knowledge and learn the knowledge, because you're not going to learn it for free. That's just at the end of the day. You're not going to learn how to make six figures for free. Like
exactly.
It's just
Well,
common
that
sense.
segues me into my next question. So for those that want to learn and maybe take one of your classes, I understand you offer master classes and
Yes.
learning and training on this. How can they reach you?
So you can go follow me on Instagram at T.R.U.T.H 2024. I'm going to say that again, at T.R.U.T.H 2024. You can also go to my website, thetruthjones.com. And really just speaking about my course, I would say the whole thing is it's an online course. So you get, once you pay, you sign up, blah, 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 register, all that. You get instant access to the online videos. We go over from just the beginning of investing, if you know nothing, to taking you to being an advanced day trader. Also, we do Sunday coaching calls, and on those coaching calls, we go over strategies and allows you to ask questions and really just make sure you're understanding the information overall and everything's starting to come together and just make sense. We also have a private Facebook group where we give trades that you can do as well live in the markets with us. Now, we're not telling you what to do because that's illegal, but we are telling you what we're doing.
Well, we're going to take a look at this, and I'm telling everyone, I want to thank you again, True, for taking time to be with us today, to drop knowledge. And I want to encourage our viewers to really take this information and follow him. And also, I want to remind you to click the button. Subscribe to our channel, because living your life is just that. We want to bring you the information and the knowledge so that you can continue to live your life without limits. So again, I want to thank True for coming, and he brought up a sum of things and he spelled it out with his name. We're going to put that at the end of this tag here. And this is your future. And it's about you taking control and ownership in every area of your life. And if anything that is important, you have to understand your finances and how you can gain financial wealth in this time. And I love something he said, create generational wealth. We as minorities many times lack that area where we never have generational wealth that passes from one generation to another because of our upbringing and having lack of knowledge. The scripture says, my people perish because of lack of knowledge. And this young man, who I am so proud of, that is bringing such knowledge and doing positive things. And one of the things I want to encourage all the young people, he is an example. Maybe you're not into finance, but it's letting you know at any age you can be successful, but put the work in, be passionate about it as he is, and go after your goals so that you yourself can live your life without limits. Thank you, family, again for joining me this week for our episode on finance. Thank you again, Truth, as our guest. Continue to follow us and stay connected, subscribe, comment. Let us know that you're enjoying what we're bringing as knowledge. And remember to love yourselves, take care of yourself, because guess what? You're worth it. God bless you, and I'll see you next week. Thank you.
LYLWL. It is time to LYLWL.